Destiny 2 is a very wide game with many systems, menus, quests, and items that can be both overwhelming and confusing. Maybe you are a newly rezzed Guardian from the Cosmodrome, a returning vet from years gone by, or a full-time Guardian of the last safe city. Regardless, let's help you out. Hey, I am your Commander Pika, and today we are going over 25 tips to improve your time, understanding, and enjoyment of Destiny 2. Number 25. Taught near the beginning of the New Light campaign, you can highlight quests and notable locations on the map to track them. For quests, this can help point you to the next mission or location in the destination menu if you can't find it in the sea of icons. For important locations, public events, legend lost sectors, and mission flags, this will create a waypoint on your HUD when you load into that zone, directing you to that location. Number 24. Speaking of quests, as a new player, try to complete them. Destiny 2 has a bad rap for having a weak tutorial and just throwing players into the wild, but the several intro quests the game gives you after the New Light campaign act as a pseudo on-rails continuation of the tutorial to get you accustomed to the various activities, planets, and DLCs. Key quests are for the core playlists, armor synthesis, campaign intros, and weapon crafting. By the same token, don't delete any quests or quest items. This just leads to issues and confusion down the line. You have plenty of space to hold those quests and items. Just tackle them later if you aren't interested in doing them now. Number 23. To get a leg up on loot drops and leveling, masterwork your ghost. Besides rezzing and healing you in combat, your little buddy can influence XP, glimmer, and loot drops. Plus, it doesn't cost that many resources to do so if you've been playing for several hours. Level them up, slap on an XP bonus, extra glimmer, and core playlist prosperity mod. Once you have played a bit, you'll unlock the armorer mods that guarantee gear to drop with at least 10 in one stat of your choosing. Number 22. It's easy to get overwhelmed with the loot in this game, and the quickest fix is usually just to delete items. But don't when first starting out. As a new or returning player, you might not know yet what items are good, what stats are important, what your preferred playstyle is, etc. So, use your vault to store your items early. This is aimed at legendary or purple items, as they have increased stats and more perks, all with random rolls. Rares, or blues, can and should be dismantled since they only help with leveling very early on and can always be reclaimed from your collections. Use your 600 vault spaces to store your excess gear and lock your legendaries. Number 21. Piggybacking off the previous tip, when you get new items to drop, use them. Experiment. This will get you accustomed to the weapons and armor system and what you like as a Guardian. If you never use a pulse rifle, how would you ever know if you like or hate them in Destiny? Messing around, succeeding, and failing facilitates accumulation of knowledge, and will later help you go through your hoard of loot to decide what is and isn't worth keeping. It's okay to use blue weapons early on, terrible perks, and double primaries. Over time, you'll learn to just use legendary and exotic items, what perks you like, and balancing your loadout with a primary, special, and heavy weapon that complements the activity and your playstyle. Number 20. The simple thing that is often forgotten. Destiny 2 is a video game, not a job. Go do the activities you like to do. If you stop having fun, then take a break or try something else. Many different things to do in the world of Destiny. For newer players, I recommend trying everything. You'll experience what the game has to offer, what you like and dislike, and reward you with a wide variety of loot. In the beginning, it's about quantity, not quality of the loot, so go grab everything under the sun. Number 19. Destiny's biggest flaw is loot management, comparing items, learning perks, build crafting, and moving gear. However, because of how Destiny is set up, the wonderful community has created third-party tools to accomplish these failings. I'll leave a large list of them in the description, but the two resources all players should use are Destiny Item Manager and Light.gg. DIM is great for comparing items, moving gear, and creating loadouts, while Light.gg is a great resource to look up specific weapons and see what perks and stats it can roll with. For further input, follow the many content creators of Destiny 2. They can help highlight what weapons are good, key perks, powerful armor, builds, and more. But remember, at the end of the day, you are your own Guardian. You have the final say of what you like and what you think is good. Treat content creators as a resource. Their words aren't infallible. Most of the time, the sought-after God role is based on the player, so discover and chase your own. Oh, and third-party tools can break, so don't overly rely on them. You might have to go to your vault from time to time to move your gear around. Number 18. Events, loot, story, and information are updated regularly in Destiny and follow strict schedules dubbed resets. The two main resets are weekly and daily. The weekly reset, which starts on Tuesday at 9 AM PST, signifies the start of a new week in-game. You'll see the advancement of the seasonal content, update the vendor loot, new events, challenges, and more. The daily reset occurs at 9 AM PST every day. This refreshes the bounties and items offered by the various vendors and progresses some events. Other important resets. Thursday, the day that Bungie releases their TWAB, a weekly dev article posted on Bungie.net that talks about the things going on at Bungie and in-game, known bugs, further changes, community events, and more. And Friday, this daily reset brings along the Trials of Osiris endgame PvP mode, as well as Xur, a special vendor selling random weapons and exotics each week. Number 17. Newer returning players, you should check what Banshee and Ada have whenever you log in. Otherwise, check the other vendors for their gear each week. Not always the greatest weapons or armor, but useful stuff for newer Guardians. Number 16. There are two very important kiosks that hide in plain sight, the Monument to Lost Lights and the Quest Archive. The former, located next to your vault, gives you access to legacy weapons and exotics from expansions that don't drop from normal gameplay. To acquire them, you will need to own their applicable expansion. Red War and Legacy gear are available to free-to-play players, as well as lots of endgame materials, legendary shards, enhancement prisms, ascendant shards, and exotic ciphers. A lengthy and expensive grind, but it is a direct path to some of Destiny's most powerful weapons. The latter, Quest Archive, located next to the Postmaster, allows you to pick up legacy and dismantled quests. If you're ever missing something, encountered a bug, or deleted a quest, check back here. Number 15. The limiting factor of obtaining more exotics and items from the monument is the exotic cipher, limited drops and can only hold one at a time. Some come from triumphs, others from the season pass. To regularly farm them, complete Xur's Xenology quest when he arrives each Friday. Complete 21 core playlist activities, return to Xur, and get that cipher. Use it to purchase something from the monument or buy an extra exotic at Xur. Since you can only complete the quest once a week, and there are over 30 items in the kiosk that requires a cipher, make sure to pick up, complete, and turn in the quest each week before Xur leaves on the Tuesday reset. Number 14. Simple tip, decrypt your engrams at Master Rahul and claim rewards from vendors. New players, it's about the quantity of drops, diversifying your available loadouts along with giving you the necessary currency to buy or upgrade your gear. Once you have played a good amount of time and have some currency, then you can decide to focus your engrams or save them. At vendors in the Helm and Tower, you can turn umbrals or vendor engrams into a more focused item, specific drop or a smaller loot pool to guarantee what you want. This can be costly, so do this when you have the necessary materials and you see something you want. Number 13. A nuisance to longtime players, but a great yet easily forgettable resource for new Guardians. Rainmaker and Finest Matterweave. These are obtained from drops and item dismantles, stored in your inventory tab, and grants more glimmer and enhancement cores, generic but very crucial currencies for newer players. These are used in upgrading your gear and in most vendor exchanges. The catch? They must be manually used and repeats don't stack. If you don't use them constantly, you'll end up like most veteran players, stacks of these items that are a pain to use up. My advice, whenever you get them, use them. Once their buff icon disappears on your character screen, use another one. You'll thank me later. Number 12. Besides gear, you need to upgrade your Guardian via extra subclass aspects, fragments, and abilities. Check with Ikora in the tower and buy everything. It's a lot of glimmer, but you can easily farm that from heroic public events, Rainmakers, and lost sectors. Similarly, for Beyond Light owners, make sure you to complete the post-campaign quest and check with the Exo Stranger each week for missing aspects and fragments. Number 11. One of the many joys of playing Destiny 2 is playing with others and making new friends. It's okay to be nervous or shy, I was exactly the same, but joining a clan and participating in the many Discord communities allowed me to open up and make great friends. Plus, having someone walk you through the game can make it more fun and less confusing. If you want to meet the cool people in my clan and learn more about Destiny 2, then feel free to join the Sundog Gaming Discord. Number 10. Experiment with different keybinds. Destiny 2 allows you to remap your buttons and toggle some accessibility options to better enjoy your time and the fluidity of combat. The newest features are the separate melee keybinds, allowing you to freely use your powered and unpowered melee whenever, and the new full auto toggle, making nearly all weapons fully automatic for easier time on your fingers and reaching optimal DPS. Number 9. Short and sweet, play with the in-game music on. Bungie's music is always a treat to the ears, so do yourself a favor and crank it up. At the very least for your first time playing each activity and campaign. Number 8. Leveling can be complicated and isn't always important. For new players, don't worry too much about it. The gear that drops will slowly level you up. Once you've completed the several tutorial quests and a DLC campaign, you should be at the soft cap. Now focus on powerful and pinnacle drops to increase your level. Not all activities require a high power, so look at what you need to hit. Number 7. Biggest complaint of players is losing items in your Postmaster. Whatever you don't pick up gets sent there, but there is a limited capacity. So if you don't check regularly and claim what's there, you'll lose it. Best to get in the habit of picking up most items off the ground, playing without a full inventory, check the Postmaster regularly, and deleting junk items. All players, especially veterans, do not treat the Postmaster as extra storage. Use it before you lose it. We all want higher caps of masterworking materials and vault space, but that's not our reality right now. Use the materials that you have, that way any excess that ends up in your Postmaster is just that, excess. Number 6. Fashion is very important in Destiny, some call it the true endgame. To create your Guardian's intended look, make sure you complete the Armor Synthesis quest and regularly grab 801's bounties. You can only unlock 10 armor pieces for cosmetics each season unless you want to open your wallet, so grab all her bounties, and you should passively get the materials throughout the season. Some of the bounties are tedious, so best to start them at the beginning of a season rather than scramble to grind them at the end if you truly want free fashion. Number 5. Little secret and potential hot take. You don't need to pick up bounties. Bounties allow players quicker and more focused avenues to XP, Bright Dust, and vendor reputation. Many find it boring and tedious. If so, don't do them. Just play what you like and you'll eventually level up your artifact, season pass, and vendors. Although, for new Guardians and players that maybe log in a few hours each week, pick up some bounties. Don't purely focus on them, treat them as just bonus XP. Just pick up bounties for whatever activity you are doing. If you complete them, then yay, bonus XP! Bounty grinding and hoarding are mainly for those in a hurry to reach high levels of the season pass and artifact, want to farm Bright Dust, and want a leg up at the launch of a new season. For more flexibility and loot, then look at the weekly seasonal challenges in your quest menu. Each week, several get added rewarding heaps of XP, Bright Dust, and legendary items. Number 4. This is a more contentious tip, but I believe beneficial to learn. All craftable weapons don't need to be crafted. It's easy to get into the mindset that if a weapon can be crafted, then any other random drop of that gun is trash. You hyperfixate on the end goal. That's not healthy or accurate. There are 2 parts of the crafting system, player choice and player investment. Player choice is about deciding on what you want in a weapon, its stats, and perks. A weapon can drop as your god roll at any time, but maybe you are unlucky or desire something super specific. Crafting is supposed to be the remedy to this. Enough time and investment in obtaining the pattern rewards you with the weapon in the configuration you desire most. For player investment, it rewards the further use of those crafted weapons to obtain extra stats and enhance perks. You don't need enhanced perks. You don't. It's okay to want them, but don't hyperfixate on them. It'll lead to a negative mindset toward normal weapon drops. If you get what you want to drop, congrats, you're done. Enjoy it. Treat crafting as an option and a reward, not the end-all be-all. Number 3. Catalysts offer extra perks, stats, and potency to exotic weapons. They are rare drops, grindy, and have a theorized lockout mechanic, meaning you can't obtain more if you have several incomplete. So best practice, when you get them to drop, slap on that weapon to complete it. Use it in the normal activities you do, or if you want it done quickly, run some Lost Sectors, farm Chirochi and Last Wish, or run Dares of Eternity to spam heavy ammo. If neglected, it can turn into a daunting task to complete and prevent you from obtaining the catalyst you actually want. Number 2. For a quality of life feature to make tracking Legend Lost Sectors easier when you are leveled and want new exotic armor, go and complete every normal Lost Sector. Once you have done them, they will appear filled out and the flag for the daily Lost Sector will appear on the map. And number 1, the one you've been waiting for. Most important, simple, overlooked, but so true. Read. Yes, you heard me, read. A lot of the confusion and frustration in Destiny, like where do I go, what do I do, all comes down to reading and reading comprehension. It takes time to understand a bit of the lingo and resources of the game, but Destiny actually tells you a fair bit if you fully read the quests, items, dialogue, and tooltips. Don't know where to go to complete a quest? Track it and fully read its description. Don't know how the season or event works? Read the tooltip icon in the top left corner of the applicable vendor screen. It'll tell you the basics of the activity, currency, and structure. Confused on a mode and different modifiers? Hover over them before you launch the activity. They'll describe its various components. I'm not saying it's perfect, specific values, details of perks, and drop rates aren't disclosed in-game, but a decent amount is told to the player. You just have to take a second to read and think. Don't worry, the space aliens will be there once you're done reading. And those are my 25 tips for all Guardians in Destiny 2. Of course, this isn't everything to know, but hopefully you've learned something useful to help you on your way. If you have any other tips or questions, leave them down in the comments. Oh, and a secret bonus tip, have fun! This is a game to play, so laugh, have a good time, and make friends. If you aren't having fun, then take a break or play something else. No judgment, this is your life, your destiny is up to you, so do what brings you joy. As always, I am your Commander Pika. Be kind, have fun, and I'll see you on the battlefield.